Hello friends, welcome back again. I'm here with two pairs of jeans, and the jeans I have today with me are these wonderful, a new brand, and they're called DOER'S, D-U/E-R. And what you can notice right away is that this leather loop, it will allow belts to go through there. Unlike the Levi's, which it will not allow the belt or whatever to go underneath the leather tag. So that's one small difference. The other difference that I noticed right away is that these seam allowances, here and elsewhere, they're triple stitched. There's 3 rows of stitching compared to 2 rows on these jeans, the ones that we're making in Vietnam, the Levi's. And likewise, there's only 1 row of stitching there on the waistband where the waistband meets the yoke, and on the waistband seam allowance, the waistband yoke, once again we've got 2 rows of stitching. So the stitching on these is more than my regular pairs of jeans. And the other thing that's noticeable about these jeans is even the outside, which normally doesn't have a visible seam allowance on most other jeans that I've ever had, there is double stitching and an obvious seam allowance. It's not just a ditch or a seam ditch, it's an actual folded over seam allowance, and it's double stitched. So that's 2 big differences right there, because on the Levi's all you have is no top stitching or stitching, you just see the ditch. That's it. Let me get that down there for you. So there's that on my normal jeans that I've been buying all my life, and on these new ones it's the construction is more substantive. I would say that it is stronger. So that's the first 2 things about the leather belt loop and the triple stitching and the double stitching. And then there's a really interesting thing about these new jeans, and we're going to take a look at the bottom, the crotch, and we can see here that there is a gusset here. There's a seam allowance that comes down here, and there's one across there, and it stops there. Then we have another seam allowance there and one there, and that area there has no seam or hump or bump like the regular jeans that I've been buying all my life do, because that's how it looks. You've got 4 seam allowances, one from the back, one from the front, and one from each side, and they all get hammered down by machine to flatten them out as much as possible, but it's still a noticeable, significant bump. So to recap quickly, here we don't have a ditch. We have an actual seam allowance, and it is double stitched there. And here again, it's triple stitched and triple stitched and triple stitched on the inside of the leg seam allowance. And the really what I find to be revolutionary or really interesting about these jeans is that there's an extra gusset sewn into the crotch, the bottom, the bum of the jeans. And so instead of getting 8 layers from 4 seam allowances that are doubled over, so each seam allowance has 2 layers, and there's 4 of them, so that makes out 8. There is no seam allowance here, and there is no big bump in that very significant area on the bum. And the fellow that designed these jeans in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, around 2015. He was a mountain biker, and he came up with this solution to make the uncomfortable seam allowance double overs joint to get rid of it. And that's really flat. And the other thing is that this denim, this material, is really flexible. It almost feels thinner than regular denim, but I'm not sure that it actually is. So I have worn these jeans for a couple of days, and I want to tell you, they're really, really comfortable. They're really nice. I like having the belt loop up there, an extra belt loop with the leather. That's cool. And like I say, it's triple stitched there, triple stitched there, triple stitched there, double stitched there instead of single. And the same on the outside seam, it's double stitched instead of just a ditch. You know, on the regular jeans that I've been buying all my life and wearing all my life, it's just a ditch with no stitching, and only double stitching as far as all the other seams. So that, you know, is a superior quality to me. It's great construction. And the other thing is that there is a wicking feature with this material, and it has a tendency to keep you a little warmer in the cool weather and keep you a little cooler in the cool weather and a little cooler in the warm weather. So that's really, really nice. And the other thing I like about these jeans is they're designed and produced out of Vancouver, British Columbia, and DOER'S has their own plant, their own manufacturing facility in Pakistan. So they're always going to come from that plant in Pakistan that DOER owns. And an interesting side note is that the guy that started producing, designing, and making these jeans, manufacturing these jeans, he started it in 2015, and it was a successful Kickstarter venture. This company has their Vancouver store in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. They also have a store in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, and Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And then they have a store in Mississauga, Ontario, Toronto, Ontario, and Ottawa, Ontario. And here in Montreal, they're sold at a family department store up in Mile End, near the corner of Boulevard Saint Laurent and Rue Marianne. And family-owned business since 1928. So I definitely like buying from a, you know, an independent family-owned business. What else can I say about these? Well, I do like that they are produced and manufactured by a Canadian company. That store that I referred to up in Mile End is called SCHRETER'S department store. And I also bought some socks there, and the socks are made in Quebec, Canada. And I also bought some nice gentlemen's underwear. You know, I wear the longer type, not the briefs, but the boxers with the longer sleeves on the leg. And they're also made in Canada. I don't know where, but they're made in Canada. So, and I've always been, for a long time, I have been a local shopper. I like to support the stores and businesses and, you know, close to where I live. And so this is working out well, because at that store up in Mile End, at Rue Marianne and Boulevard Saint Laurent, I can get jeans that are produced by a Canadian company, and I can get actually socks that are made in Quebec and underwear that is made in Canada. So I really like that. Not to mention the fact that it is, I consider this to be better or improved construction. I find these jeans to be somewhat revolutionary, and they do have a nice feel to them. So that's really interesting. I have loads of Levi's and Wranglers, because I grew up in Levi's and Wranglers, and I love my my jeans, all of my jeans. And I'm not about to get rid of my already bought jeans. but you know, I know that these are made in, that these new ones are made in Pakistan at the same plant. I never know when I buy jeans from, you know, from wherever. They could be made in Vietnam, they could be made in Indonesia, they could be made in Mexico, they could be made in Chile, they could be made anywhere, you know. So it's nice to know the history of the jeans. So those are the differences that I found about them, found out about them. Price. These jeans are with tax. These DOER'S, they're going to be 160 Canadian, and I was paying about 134, 137 Canadian for basic Levi's, and if I got into Levi's original 201s black, then with tax I was going to be paying 193 Canadian. And I did actually get a black pair of these DOER'S as well, and they're the same price with tax. They're $160 roughly, and they're turned inside out so you can see the inside. And again, we've got triple stitching. We've got that gusset that makes these jeans extremely comfortable for anything. You know, I don't ride a bike a whole lot anymore. I sometimes do, maybe once or twice a year in the summer, but I don't do a lot of mountain biking like the designer, the innovator of these jeans. So, and so it's pretty exciting that I'm able to, you know, buy things that are locally sourced and produced. Now, I have no objection to buying American clothing or American products. I worked into the United States, the Detroit, Dearborn, Michigan area for many years. And I did buy, by virtue of that, I did buy clothes and clothing and other items in the States. But once that part of my life ended, I've never been one to, you know, to drive from Canada into the States to buy cheaper clothing. I've always, like I say, I like to support my local businesses in my area so that I get good service, and they're very available if I need to go back and, you know, question or say there's a defect or whatever. I get, the service is good when it's local. And so that's what I'm having fun with these days. So I wanted to stick this video in here and let you know. And like I say, in the States, they've got a store in Los Angeles, California, and Boulder, Colorado. And then the rest of the stores are in Vancouver, 2 stores in Alberta, the province of Alberta, 3 stores in Ontario. And they don't have any stores in Quebec, but they do have a distributor or distributors. I only know of the one distributor where I bought these jeans. I kind of, you know, found them just, you know, I saw them there and started talking to the sales representative or whatever, what have you. And that's when I learned that they were designed and produced by a Canadian company. So, and don't think that, you know, the timing is, you know, because there's a bit of a little bit of a trade issue between in North America right now. That has nothing to do with this. I still buy Levi's, you know, and nothing is made really in Canada. Like as far as jeans, nothing is really made in North America anymore. Not like when I was a, you know, a teenager, a new 20s guy in the middle 70s. I think you could still buy jeans back then that were made in the USA and maybe even Canada. Well, of course they were made in Canada. I remember Great West Garment Company out of Alberta, I think Edmonton actually. They used to make jeans somewhere in Canada, and the same with Dominion Textiles down on Sherbrooke Street here in Montreal. They used to make jeans back in the 70s in Canada, I think, as far as I know. So yeah, so that's what I've been playing with recently, and I'm going to continue making my jeans, because I am making a pair of jeans. I'm on this jean dream, as you viewers know, as you watchers and subscribers know, and I'm still in the process of making and sewing a pair of jeans out of muslin. So you'll see more of that coming up soon. But it's a bit milder in Canada today. It's just around 0 or just under 0 degrees, but we're getting about 8 or 9 inches of snow right now, and into the into the night tonight. But day before yesterday, I think it was yesterday morning, it was like minus 27 Celsius here at 5:30 in the morning. So yeah, it is. The weather is getting easier, but we're getting a whole bunch of snow. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you're having fun with your sewing dreams and your machines and your jeans. And check back soon. We'll get at this stuff again. So stay safe, have fun. Adios amigos for now, and we'll chat soon. Thanks for stopping in. Oh, by the way, please do subscribe. Every little bit helps. Thank you.